Okay, hello everyone, welcome back. Today I will be playing a little bit of Mono White Devotion, or Devotion, as I've called it in jest, as I'm playing just a fairly stock Mono White Devotionalist, but I'm playing a couple Sky Sovereigns instead of the usual Elsbeth Conquers Death slot, as well as playing this Tomic instead of the 4th Knight of the White Orchid. I'm trying it out as I think there's a little bit of a pickup on the Lotus Breach combos in like leagues and stuff, as well as like smaller, more aggressive creature decks rather than the like more over the top stuff that you were seeing before. So I think Sky Sovereign's a bit better than Conquer's Death in that scenario. Seeing a lot of like Gruul Aggro and stuff in my leagues at least, so I think it'll be fairly good for that. Yeah, apart from that, nothing else is really that different. You still got like the 3 Gideons for the inverted matchup. You got the combo still. 4 Arcana Styles, really good with the Nykthoses. Helps you find Sky Sovereign as well, actually. Which is a bit better than Conquer's Death in that scenario as well. Got all your 2-drops, the 2-2 splits of Daxos and Anafenza. Night of White Orchid's probably one of the better cards as well for your, especially when you're on the draw. Lets you catch up. Also lets you find idyllic ranges, which helps to buff your creatures, especially like relevant when you're playing Sky Sovereign, because you can make these free so they just crew on their own. Sideboard's fairly normal as well. You got like Gideon, Black Blaze, which is a bit different, a bit more aggressive. I think they're better. They provide a better clock against the inverter decks. I haven't seen a lot of them, so I've opted not to play any Gideon's Intervention, but I think that could be wrong. I think if I was to play him, I'd probably like trim on the Gideons instead. Yeah, without further ado, I will first actually rent the deck, because I forgot to do that, but once I've done that, we'll get into it. It's a little bit of a silly man. Usually I rent the deck before I go live. This makes it easy, I can just start immediately, but just completely forgot this time. Shouldn't be too long. I should also update my stream decker while I'm here. If you're watching this online, if you just skip like 2-3 minutes ahead, I should be done. You don't have to watch me do this. Sorry about all the clicking. I guess that's kind of normal when you're using a mouse. Cool. Alright, that's all sorted. Just have to rent it now. Rent. Once this is done, we'll get right into it. What a funny thing, I accidentally shredded all of the like the basic lands that you get when you start Magic Online, and like they were, I made an account like where you get all the Battle for Zendikar lands, so you get all the nice full arts. And I didn't understand how the making a trade binder thing works. I wanted to shred all the extra bad cards they give you and keep the lands, but I didn't know how, so I ended up accidentally shredding them. So I have to like rent my basic lands as well. I have some like in my scales. If you look at like my green decks, I have some ones that I used from when I was like trying to build Titan Shift without paying or doing renting, because that was like the deck that I played. But when it comes to things like planes and the like, I tend to just have whatever they give me, which means I tend to have quite ugly lands. This time we were lucky enough to get a couple of nice Pharos planes, which is good for us. Almost done now. And I'll jump into a game. Cool. Great. Yep. Get into a match. I'm a bit of a stump when it comes to what to do in Pioneer, really, or in general when it comes to Magic at the moment. You have the new Ikoria set coming out, which will maybe, hopefully, like mix things up a bit. But I haven't really found a deck that I quite think is quite good or competitive in Pioneer. I like the Scales deck a lot. That wasn't very good, so we're gonna mulligan. We're gonna keep this. Like the Scales deck, I think I like it a lot. It has a problem with perhaps not being the best. I could be wrong. Obviously, better people than I have done well with the deck, and I think if I worked on it more, I'd probably get it. Like I do like that kind of deck, but I think generally, oh wow, getting the triple frame and inspect the draw. Look at us. Squad. That's good. That's nice. It lets us provide some sort of pressure against, which is probably a mono white or blue white control opponent, while also giving us cards still, which is about what we want in this scenario. We're just gonna attack here. We don't mind. If they Azorius channel us, we just crack Clue and then play it again. If not, we just sit on Stasis Snare for their Planeswalker, or crack Clue, whichever one is more appropriate. They could Wrath us. I don't think we mind them wrathing our 3 cycle creatures. We're just going to keep beating them down. Yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, I usually play a Legacy. Like I tend to play I'm just gonna get one of these a +1. I usually play like Death and Taxes, and obviously right now the format isn't very is very hostile to that kind of deck. You know, Oko's really just like making it really hard to do a lot. I'm just gonna pass. I have no reason to do anything. Hold up Stasis Snare for like Teferi. Okay, that just so if they make a creature with castle, we're okay. I'm just gonna crack both of these now. So if they make a creature with castle to chump, then we're happy to just play out a Heliod or a Sky Sovereign. I think it's just what they're going to do. Absolutely fine. Maybe they're just gonna take it, that's okay too. Thinking I could probably play out a Heliod now, but they're not really doing anything, and we're exerting a lot of enough pressure. They're just gonna scry. Okay, they're just gonna make a human now. That's fine. Yeah, I've been playing a bit of Hearthstone. I haven't played Hearthstone in ages. It's been a long time since I've considered playing that game, but had a lot of fun with the new classes and stuff, so I've just been doing that. Okay, we're just gonna like make our Fraven Inspector threats with all of these idyllic ranges. Not drawing great, honestly. Like, really, we're just winning because of all of these Fraven Inspectors, to be honest. Don't actually have to do anything else. Now that I have 6 mana, I'm okay playing a Heliod. Probably a counter spell, but that's not too bad. Yeah, Sinister Sabotage isn't the worst. We expected that. We now have access to Stasis still, so we're fine. If they Teferi bounce, we can play our Sky Sovereign. Gets a bit awkward when they have Teferi and counter magic, but we can still deal with that by attacking first. Also now an option where they can go Teferi and okay, as a sensor, that's not great. Yeah, they're just gonna cycle that. But if they just leave up 3 mana again, I'll probably just attack the Narset with one of the 2 power creatures. Oh, I could just set up lethal actually. Yeah, I just set up lethal. Okay, great. We just won by attacking with Fraven Inspectors the whole game. Can't complain about that really. So considering the matchup, I imagine I'm not really prepared for this really, but we're on the draw, so now the White Walk, it's fine. Tomic is quite good for dealing with. We don't want these. We don't want the Baffling Ends either. We don't mind Stasis Snares because it's Planeswalkers. Sky Sovereign also it's Planeswalkers. Cards we definitely want are another Gideon for say like these other Gideon Blackblades. Planeswalkers generally quite problematic for our opponent. They don't have a lot of stuff to deal with it. Could think about D aside if they have because they have like Detention Sphere and stuff. That's like their best way of dealing with it. But I think we're just fine just bringing in like another Tomic, just more pressure. We could bring in the Stasis Snares because we're on the draw and maybe trim on the combo a little bit because it's a bit harder to do it. So I think I might do that. Just the one, I think. We're fine with that. Walking Bliss is fine on its own. It can also get quite big with Nykthos, but you don't have to play out Nykthos immediately. We can always hold it back. I kind of like this hand because we have the castle. It kind of counts as like not a land. It counts as more of like a piece of pressure for us, and we have the Grange to play as well. So we can play Tomic on 2, and then we can go Knight plus Idyllic Grange to buff whatever creature we play after that. I don't want to play the castle until I know I can like activate it, and I want that in case I have Field of Ruin. But generally I think our hand's fine. We hope to not draw more lands really. That's like the most ideal scenario. We also have to be wary of Censor. We know they have Censor in their deck. So we might want to not run out our Tomic right now. We might want to do it at a later stage. But that always poses a problem of if we're playing too scared. I think I'm just going to run it out now. It's probably going to get censored. But considering our hand is quite threat light, it might be wrong generally. But we also want to get pressure down as soon as possible. So I could have another one. which is like a fear. So it might be incorrect to do it again. But I'm going to do it anyway. Okay, so we get the land. Just get plains. Now we're going to Grange up on night to make it a threat, and then next time we can play the castle. We can hold back stasis now. I imagine we'll probably just kill them with like castle creatures, and they're like gonna attack first. We're now ahead, so we've lost they lost their like on the play momentum, which is one of the things that is important for the control decks. They need to be ahead on mana to okay, that's fair. It's about what we expected. We're okay with this. Bouncing it to our hand's actually not a big issue. We probably can just play it out as a 2/2 now. We got the land out of it. Now we have a Tomic. See what they have. They might have a Azorius Charm, but I mean, we just traded. They cycled their creature there. I actually think I prefer to play Tomic in this scenario. Like hold up Stasis Snare for a Teferi or an Elsbeth. Elsbeth's like one of the bigger problems. I don't know if they play Elsbeth still. I not all of these decks are really the same. Okay, Dream Trawler, similarly problematic. I don't think we want to Stasis Snare it now. There's not really a reason. We can always do it to push damage, but I don't think we want to. Looking for Gideon's good. Gideon's very good. Gideon lets us plus on this. Yeah, I can give it hexproof, which is fine. And then on the upkeep, we're just gonna Stasis Snare it. Obviously they can have a cow spell. They've kind of been probably holding one in their hand for a while. But we're okay with that. They can get in, probably kill Gideon. So maybe it's not the best. I guess we take a card out of our hand, which is best what we can do. But it actually resolves. So that's great for us. We have the Gideon now, which is okay, so they have the cast now. That makes sense. I guess that means that they don't have a lot of counter magic in their hands. So we're hoping now to maybe find an Arcanist Owl. Something like that would be good. They're attacking us? Yeah, they're attacking us, which I think is interesting. Let's say, oh no, they are attacking Gideon. It didn't show up the thing. Or maybe it did. I wasn't just looking. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7, 2. Yeah, we're not going to get anything else out of these knights, so we just want to apply pressure. At this point, probably just losing to this Dream Trawler. Card I tend not to like. It hits the similar philosophy to Uro, where it's like it's a card advantage engine that's also a threat. and also evasive, so you kind of get the worst of it all. Might have been better to just like play the Gideon first here, do a beta counter spell. The Gideon kind of just dies to the Dream Trawler, so I think I'm still going to play the Gideon. He'll probably just get counterspelled. Okay, they're going to dig in response. That makes sense. I think I'm definitely happy to... Oh, okay, it resolves. I'm just going to emblem it. It's not doing anything on its own, it's just going to die. And this presents a problem for our opponent. Okay, ditch the Sky Sovereign that we drew. Now the problem now is we have to worry about Settle the Wreckage. Not sure if we need to necessarily worry about that. We have to assume now that we're basically running on like our board, -5 is like our clock. So we have like 6 damage to their 14, which is 3, or you'll have 8 damage because of the castle creature. We're also on a clock ourselves because of the Dream Trial. We have 2 turns to do that. Like that Dream Trawler like draws cards for it to get rid of itself is a bit of a problem as well. Sure. Yeah, we have a redraw in Fraven Inspector. Not bad because it's also a threat. Okay, Gideon Blackblade. It's definitely interesting. It can give our it's until end of turn. I think I'm definitely tempted to cast it. Could give our creatures lifelink, which could help us to race. It'll die, but it'll also give us more time. I think I'm okay casting it. Probably put it on the Tomic. Give it lifelink. I think I want to stay back with one of the humans as a block for Gideon ally. We also have the Fraven Inspector as well to block the knight if we want to. Okay, they just have Settle the Wreckage, so we'll probably just lose from here. So we know they play Settle now. We couldn't really not play around it. We wanted to just attack into it. Glare's interesting. It's something I might consider over a Stasis Snare, just because it hits pretty much all the relevant threats in their deck. It's Gideon. It's a bit less expensive. Knights aren't as good now, so I'm okay trimming on them and bringing Daxos back in, which is better with the Heliod combo, which we're going to bring the whole thing into. I think I want less of the kind of Gideon of the trials effects, because they're not as great either. I think I'm okay bringing in 1 glare. I don't want too many. Yeah, that seems fine. Sky Sovereign's going to be, if we're able to resolve it, is the best way for us to do it, like Dream Trial, just by blocking it really. But cool. This hand's fine. This hand does what we want. It is just apply early pressure. We'll probably have to consider when we cast this Gideon, because at the moment it might eat a sensor, which we don't really want. Sure. Okay, there's an Azorius Charm, that's okay. Play out this Gideon now. There isn't an uptick or anything, so I'm just going to emblem it. Play around sensor just by doing that. Give this the Grange. I think about whether or not we want to attack with this Gideon. I think we do. They have another Azorius Charm, that's fine. We're just running them out of like cards in our hand now. We still have a threat on the board. We have this castle that we can start going with as well. We don't mind Teferi that much. We can, if they bounce, we can just like make a ballista and ping it. Just want to make sure that they don't have any resources like on the board as we can, so they can't snowball them. It's realistically what we're trying to do. Because with decks like this, the problem you always find is that you can flood a lot. Okay. Oh, I should have. I didn't ping them in response, which was a mistake. That 1 damage might be relevant. It might not as well. I think we just want to get back our board. Just pass. So at this point, we probably want like an Arcanist Owl. We haven't drawn any of them yet, which is a big a big shame, especially in this matchup. It's like very important to try and have like some sort of like card advantage going on. That's like one of the best ways that we can do it, apart from like Gideon 4. So we're gonna start getting in on their Gideon now. Plus on their Gideon. Just play the basic if we have the choice. We don't want the Nykthos to get Field of Ruin. Although I think it's probably better than the castle to do so. There's a Teferi, that makes sense. Here's a Gideon ally. We don't want it to get counterspelled, but we also don't want to do nothing. We have 4, so this adds 1 extra, which means that we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana, which means that we can activate Castle and also play this Gideon, which is good. Think about what we want to do. I think we want to attack the Gideon of the Trials first and see if they settle us. Attacking Gideon means that if it dies, we can start getting in on this Teferi. Sure, makes sense. We still have a castle up, so we don't mind too much. Worried about sails still. We can't do much about it. Kind of just have to play into everything at this point. We have no hand. We're just hoping that the castle gives us a big enough advantage. Another Gideon. Okay. Sure. They're starting to run out of cards too. The Teferi is the biggest issue as a result. So we're hoping to draw like a Stasis Snare or a Glare of Heresy. Either of them would be good. Axos is okay. It's just another threat. Which we're okay to have. Obviously we kind of run into like sweepers at this point as well. We can't really do anything about that either. At this point we just want to attack the Teferi. Try and kill it. I tend to have an odd case of always playing against blue-white when I'm playing creature-oriented decks, and then playing against and not getting verdict out of games. I don't know why people play blue-white as much as they do online, considering it's like probably not great right now. Maybe they see something I don't, but I mean it always is. It tends to be good against me. So what do I know? But I mean, it seems like it's very poor against Inverter. The small amount I played against it with Inverter, it didn't seem great. Okay, another dig. Might be really looking for either like a settle or a verdict. Could definitely see verdict now. This is probably it. Yep. As I expected. I gain free life, which is great. Really hard to win from this scenario, really. It is what it is. I'm just going to make the human now so I can pass through. Just a case of us flooding out a bit, not getting what we want. Kind of just losing to card advantage from the opponent, which is a bit of a shame. Probably just like make 2 humans a turn off of castle now. They don't really have to do anything else. I can just play a Dream Troll. I think we're just like dead at this point, unless we like sack the combo. So I clicked through making a. Oh no, I didn't. Okay. There's an owl. It's a good start. With 4 cards in hand, it's likely to have a counter spell though. So, not in the greatest of spots really. It's gonna gain so many cards off of this. I think it's fine to just concede, considering I don't think we can win. This is really frustrating. We're in a very good spot just by we didn't really see any owls. Would have been great. It was a bit late to draw that owl there. We couldn't threaten the combo at all at any points in the game. We didn't have it. We had the ballista. We never drew Heliod. Might have been better to not play the ballista early to kill the Teferi, so that we could threaten the combo if we ever drew the Heliod, but we never did. So like, but obviously we can't. We're not basing our decision then off of what we did draw, so it might have been more correct, and we could have made it bigger later. I'm not sure. It sounds fine. I'll keep this. It has a curve. Hoping to draw a couple more lands, but we tend to draw them with this deck. Also we have like clues, so we're very likely to find them. So that deck could be anything. I think I'm happy just playing out the Tomic now. I could play out these two Fraven Inspectors to get a load of clues. I think if I'm not flooding, then I prefer to just like present a threat. This might be another blue-white deck. It would be sad if it was, but it's just because I dislike playing it. Okay, so it's inverted, that makes sense too. There's a Jace. So we have a choice between killing this now with Stasis Snare or leaving it. I think I'm going to start by attacking. I don't think I can get to 5 until next turn, and maybe we can, if they block the Fraven Inspector. I could just play both of these now. I kind of want to make sure that we get a land. I also have Heliod now, so now we're more likely to want to keep the Ballista just to get the combo. I think our combo tends to be a bit faster. Obviously we're susceptible to Thoughtseize effects, but then we can just like hit them with our creatures. This is probably a Far Rager. Yeah, this probably takes our Ballista. Could take Heliod too. If they have a Fable Passage and like a 1 mana spell, they can flip their Jace this turn. But then we can just Stasis Snare. So that's not too bad. They take the Ballista, that makes sense. Heliod's something they can't actually deal with if it gets down. So it might not be... it might be better to play that then, and then it sets up the ability for us to top deck the combo. We're going to do it now. So they're setting themselves up to Inverter. They're looking for a land as well, I think. So we just drew another Ballista. That's cool. Yeah, they're really looking for the land. We really don't want them to get the land because I expect them to have a we're gonna play the Heliod because it's a threat. They also play this turns into a creature now, but we don't want to have Inverter now because they can win with the Oracle in the bin or in hand. But we also have a lot of power on the field at this point. We just need like a Nykthos, and we win, I think, because we get 5, 6. Yeah, so we can play Blister on 2, give it Cower. So we're hoping to draw that as like our land if we draw one. Idyllic Range is also fine. That will set up lethal too, because we can make a Blister on 1, give it a Cower with Grange, and then give it Lifelink. So we have like 6 cards in our deck that we can draw to just win the game. If they just like slam Inverter. Yeah, they gotta flip their Jace first, that makes sense. I'm okay with them just like Far Raging us again if they like want to flashback something. Actually, I'm not sure they can. No, it's just lands with Tomic. So not relevant in this matchup. Yeah, they're gonna flashback Thoughtseize, which is an interesting one. Probably just take the Ballista at this point then again. Then we can like decide if we want to stasis snare now or if we want to stasis snare at a different point. Yeah, they're gonna take the ballista. If we stasis snare to Jace now, they didn't fault Asia, which means that they probably have like a fatal push. Baffling End doesn't do anything. I think we want to play a stasis snare first so that our Heliod's always active through a push on Tomic. We just want to play it as a yeah, I didn't realize it couldn't hit Planeswalkers. I thought I always hit Planeswalkers. That's my mistake. That's okay. We still get in. I don't think they can win next turn, and we have lethal on the board. They can dig, I guess. I'm not sure why they flash back the Thoughtseize if they're not doing anything. Then that seems very peculiar. I thought Stasis Snare hit Planeswalkers, which is why I brought them in against blue-white. So clearly not the best thing to bring in. Probably something I would cut actually in that matchup, considering, and then bring in more glares. So something to know in the future. I thought it was just like non-land permanents, but that makes sense considering it's got flash. Yeah, that was not the smartest. Just teach me to read my cards. Okay, well we won just by mediocre beats, which is ideal. So considering that, I'd probably trim one of these in the mirror or against this deck. Baffling End also not the best. Sky Siren's also probably not fantastic. Probably want like this Gideon. Rest in Peace seems good. Stops the digs. We're bringing like Tomic as a flyer. Is that good against anything when it comes to lands? No. It's like an aggressive flyer. I think like Gideon Blackblade's also fine. Just as like more aggression. It's it's indestructible. So maybe it's better to have like 2 Gideons instead. This might be wrong. I'll keep this. We have the Knight on the draw to find our lands, so we can cast these Owls and this Gideon. We're hoping for a Gideon of the Trials. Our lack of Gideon's interventions are somewhat problematic in this in the matchup now. Yeah, we drew Rest in Peace though, which is a good good draw. Means that we can hold our Knight for turn 3 when we can definitely cast it with a creature. So, or get a land with it rather. So, happy with that. Let's play the Rest in Peace here. They have no way to stop it. Yeah, sack it now, that's fine. And we will attack for 1. Kind of just filtering through the deck. Maybe they're looking for lands. Might just be, they may have just kept like a, yeah, it seems like they kept like a very open hand. Okay, so we drew a Nexus. That's a good one. It's a bit awkward with the Owls in the sense that we can't necessarily cast them yet. we can do technically, but I'm assuming they kill our creature. That doesn't mean that we can play Gideon next turn if we'd like. I could play around. I think I just want to get my pips down, so I probably won't play around anything. Like if they languish now, we just like play the Gideon. There's a Warrior Grave, so we know Warrior Grave in their hand. Legion's End's fine. We don't mind them using that on the Fragrant Inspector. I'd rather get the card now and then still have this night out. So considering we have 3, so we can play the Arcanist Owl if we want. I think we just want to get like Gideon down at this point. Just make a Night Ally. Stop bashing in with that. We want to make it so that they have to do the inverter stuff on turn 6. They can't do it now. Now put under pressure. They can't do it next turn, so I'm thinking about what I can do to stop the combo. So I can draw, activate this to, it gives us 5 mana. We get Ballista, that doesn't necessarily win just yet. I should just use the mana. So if they have the combo, they kill us. That's the short of it, really. It looks like they have. There's the inverter. So yeah, there's the combo. We're a bit slow in this case. Yeah, okay, that's fine. So now I'm happy to trim and like bring in Atomic. It's just like generally better. You also see Stasis Snare being a bit better in this scenario. We also kind of want the Gideon Black Blaze. I like them, so maybe it's not. I'm okay just keeping the one. We just want to focus on the combo. Yeah, no Gideon of the Trials. It was a bit of a shame. In this hand, it's a bit mediocre. I think I can do a bit better. This hand's good. We want to probably put back Gideon Ally. Lead off on our tapped land, which will be tapped for a while, so best to play it now. Okay, Owl's good. That sets up lethal with, well, it can set up the combo with Heliod if they don't have any hand disruption. Now we know that we're safe to play our Gideon of the Trials. I also have the anafenza to set up. Only needing 4 mana for the Ballista, because we can play it before we play the Ballista and it'll get bolstered. Yeah, I think this list probably could do with a Gideon's Intervention or 2 rather than what we have. I think it would be nice to have access to that in the grindy matchup. We're just gonna emblem it immediately. Maybe it was wrong to ditch the Gideon just because we go on like the Gideon tribal can't lose route, but now we know that they don't have the hero's downfall, I feel a bit better. So we have a land. We are just going to fire up this Gideon. Get in. We'll play our owl. Get the Ballista. So we have the combo in hand now. We want to play the Anafenza and then the Ballista next turn. And hope to draw a land, so we can play Heliod. Or we can just play, if we find a land, we could probably just play Heliod and Anafenza, and then we can hold up the Ballista so it doesn't get pushed. Lots of different things we can do. All fine. There's a Languish, that's fine. Don't mind that. So you draw another Gideon, that's not great. So we probably just want to play out our creatures. We don't have to win with the combo necessarily, but we can always win with mediocre beats. Yes, the problem now is that Inverter can kill our Gideon, or it can't really because we can just prevent it from dealing damage. So I guess Gideon's super good in the matchup. So I guess it's obvious anyway. They have the first they have 2 pushes. They don't win with 2 pushes. Unless they have like an oracle as well. Okay, cool, we won. Yeah, that was pretty solid. I think that was just a case of getting into the trials, make it so they can't combo. I don't know if they're necessarily good anyway, but hopefully we get a good match next round. Hoping to not play against any more blue-white, or maybe if we do have a better grindier game against them than we've kind of had before. Yeah, that was definitely unfortunate, those matches. Hopefully run a bit better now. Okay, I'm kind of tempted to keep this. I like it because we at least have the Fraven Inspectors to like cycle, and we have a land. And if we can start like playing out these knights, then we'll have our mana problems won't be nearly as bad as we can get our devotion up. Our opponent's mulliganed. Ooh, got a shiver. There's definitely a case for like just cracking the clue that we get this turn if we wanted, or we can just play a land, play the Fraven Inspector, number 2, which isn't bad either. A swamp. So we found another Fraven Inspector. Just want to get them down now. could be mono black, this could be Sultai, this could be Inverter again. Could be a lot of different decks. Could be red black. Also potential. Nice thing with Knight is even if we miss our land drop this turn, we're okay because we'll end up then getting back ahead with our lands because of the Knights finding us the land that we need. So another shrine is probably the worst land for us. We're just gonna crack this to hopefully find something. We do not. I will hold this in my hand anyway because I don't want it. We'll just pass with our Fraben Inspector blockers. Might have been correct to maybe it's something I do next turn. Is like float mana, play another Nykthos, activate it for 2, play the Knight, get a white, and then play the Fraben Inspector. That might be a good turn. I might do next turn. I think it's more cracked now because I find the land. Not sure what the opponent could be doing with their deck. Might just be like mono red, splashing for like black for like Scrappy Scrounger or something. I think we're generally quite favoured in this kind of matchup. Sure, is that gonna kill our other Fraben Inspector? That's okay. Using their burn spells to kill our 1/2s is something that we don't mind, even if they just get in for free here. Okay, so we drew a land, which is what we wanted. I think we want to lead on one of the Knights. And we'll pass. I don't think we block if they attack. They could definitely just kill our creature again as well. Should be kind of sad. 3 mana. This could be a Bone Crusher Giant, it could be a Dinosaur, the no life raptor, could be a Rabble Master as well. There's a lot of different cards that 3 mana could be a black card that we haven't seen, maybe Unlicensed Disintegration. Colligan's Command. Sure. You're gonna make me discard a card? Okay. Probably just discard this Nykthos. It's not doing a lot. I'm surprised they didn't kill our clue. I think that would have been bad in discarding, make us discard a card. As it's clear that we're like stuck on lands, and like anything that helps us find lands is probably good for us. Okay, so they played a Blood Crypt. Yeah, they're running out of cards here, which is great for us. Found the extra land, which is also great for us. So we want to play out the Knight, find the land, play the Plains, play the Daxos. Good turn for us. Next turn we can like either make a semi-sizable ballista, or we can you know, crack a clue, play a Fraben Inspector, crack another clue. Are they also running like fatal pushes in their deck, or are they like just splashing? Be a decimate. This could be a that's what I meant. Decimate isn't in this format, I don't think. Oh no, it is, but so they have dreadboard. Also, it's just mono removal and like swift spear. So I think we're generally okay with that once we get to later on in the game when we get to play our kind of bigger creature. I can definitely see them playing like Glorybringer and stuff in their deck as well. That's crack clue. Heliod's good. That sets up the combo next turn. I'm just going to play out my cards, hold back, so they feel like they need to. I guess maybe it was wrong to bring out it because they might have another Colligan's command. I think they might have used it last turn. I'm not sure. Okay, Croxer instead. So they play Croxer as well. Their deck's just doing a lot of stuff. I think our sideboard will be a lot better for this kind of matchup. We have like 4 Baffling Hands post board. We can bring in we don't mind the Ballista going. I mean, obviously it's unideal because we could have won next turn, but I think our current position is quite good. Okay. I like activating here and cracking a clue. Finding another land. I'll activate on the night. Bump up our Raven Inspector a little bit. Could have attacked with it as well. I think might have been correct. Seems wrong to hang back at this point. Although Crox is coming down next turn. Probably. I'd be surprised if it didn't, unless it's like a Glorybringer instead. Knowing the kind of decks that people try and jam in these formats, I wouldn't be surprised if it was Glorybringer. It's just like the best thing to do on 5 for red decks, probably. I think they're just going to play out their Croxadoo. Seems very hard for them to reoccur Croxer, so once we kill it, I think we'll be alright with it for a while. Doesn't seem like they have much card advantage. We can start making these like castle creatures every turn. Eventually I can make a really big Raven Inspector if we wanted. Here comes the Croxer. You know, all we can do now is like make a castle creature and then give it lifelink, and I keep doing that until our Raven Inspector's like out of range or something. I think Arcanist Owl's like our best draw here. It's another Dreadball. Angrass Rampage. Okay. So yeah, we're just gonna sack the tapped creature. I can't get in with the Swift Spear. in the canopy one, we'll just give it lifelink. Okay, another land, not great, really. We'll play it though, as we're gonna get discarded to Croxer when they attack. Just pass. So we're just gonna sit here while we draw lands, but they're not drawing much either. We can win if we top deck a Ballista. We can also draw like a Stasis Snare, or we can draw a Baffling End. All of these are good for us. Eventually we can get to a point where this Fraven Inspector is like big enough to block as well, hopefully, like block the Croxer. I'm just going to keep drawing lands, which is a bit unfortunate, but here's what it is. I'd like to see like a Sky Sovereign, maybe. Yep, so they're drawing a bit better than us. It's very frustrating. We can't just win again if we draw one of our like 3 more Ballistas. But chances are we just die before then. We at least take 4 here. They could have a removal spell for this human as well. Okay, so just thinking now. Can we live? So we take 3. We can't live this turn. We're not dead yet, but we're definitely not alive either. We'll just pass. Do need to. It does involve. No, we can only give one of our creatures lifelink, and then if they just have another removal spell, we're dead. Alright, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Yeah. Well, we're not dead yet. We can make a human and we can sack that. Again, go to 8. Yeah, they can deal 7. It's not 100% dead. Still alive for a very small amount of time. Unless they draw a, yeah. Unless they draw a removal spell. But yeah, that's how it goes. They just drew more than we did. They got rid of our combo at the right time. Yeah, just a bit unfortunate. We just want to bring in like all of our creature removal. Tomic seems good. We're on the play, so like Knight's less great. Could also bring in like Rest in Peace if we want, but I don't think that's great. Really, we just want to getting the trials is like okay, but I think we're fine with trimming it. Also trim a land because we don't want to flood too much. And then maybe an owl. So we're bringing in a lot of stuff that we want to see, so Owl doesn't seem like the best thing to cut. Might just be another Gideon of the Trials. I think one's fine. Might be worse actually to have the ally Gideon, but that jumps. I think it's like creatures for their like sack effects. They have a lot of sack effects. Yeah, I think if we draw any of these baffling ends, like the fact that that Swift Spear pretty much like went like most of that way. They just like had removal for everything we did. Kind of flooded out a bit. We had a bit of an awkward start with our lands. Things go a bit more smoothly. I think we're definitely like more favoured to win. This is not a case of that being a smooth hand. This, however, is a hand that I'm okay with keeping. I'll probably get rid of one of the stasis snares. Obviously our hand isn't great in terms of threats. We would like more. We do have this Heliod that we can like activate with all of our enchantments that they can't deal with. We're just hoping that they don't have a lot of discard. Hope I didn't just pass through my turn. Okay. Lucky me, they had to stop, so I was able to play my land. I always just pass through my turn, which I've done multiple times at this point. Hoping they just play like a Swift Spear here. There's passing, that's fine. I too will just pass. Easy 2 damage. Could see playing Heliod here. I could hold up Stasis Snare for a free drop they have as well, but I think they're generally not playing many of them. They might play, I don't know if Angrath's Rampage kills enchantments. It might do. It might just be lightning striking our face. Oh, they're stomping it. That's about the same. Probably just play out the Bone Crusher here. That's fine. We have the Baffling End if we want. We can also just like Stasis Snare if we feel like it. I think we're better off Baffling Ending it now though. We want to hold the Stasis Snares for like the Glory Bringers I expect they have in their deck. Now we do want to find a land. Ideally a non-Nykthos land, but I could also definitely see I wouldn't be against the Nykthos land just because then we can at least play a Gideon or like anything of that sort. This is probably like a Chandra. Yeah. So now we hope the Arcanist Owl next turn so we can kill it. Okay, so they're playing Pyromancer, so that's interesting. That makes sense. Sitting their deck is like mono removal spells. Not finding the land is frustrating. Really want to just like be able to get rid of this Chandra as soon as possible, but we're just not getting a lot of luck really. Very least, Stasis Snaring something will let us play our Gideon next turn. Not our Gideon, sorry, allow our Heliod to become active if we play like a Baffling End just as a thing to foreboding runes. Okay. They're just gonna pass though. They're probably holding up like a lot of removal. I mean, considering that fact, it might be better just to play the Gideon. They might have a creature removal and like planeswalker removal, but at least this will get rid of like both of those things. We don't really want the Chandra to take the ultimate, but okay, they're just passing. And I have a lot of sorcery speed removal, I could see. Might also just be flooding. We don't want to see like a Dreadbore on our Gideon and then like killing on like ally token. We kind of need them to like pressure the Chandra so it doesn't ult next turn. I think if the ults we just lose. If they just pass, then we're definitely like in a good spot. I'm gonna fire up the Gideon. We'll Grange the ally. It probably like meets the removal spell as a result. Maybe a shock. I don't think they should have wild slashes in their deck still, but they probably do. Yep, there's the wild slash. That's fine. Yeah. Do they have like a sack effect now? No. I'm hoping not, so we can at least like stop this Chandra from ulting. Okay. Good news for us. We're not getting ulted. So we're definitely still in the game. Bad news is if they... I don't know, I think we're okay. We have the Stasis now and the Baffling End to like present. They have another Chandra, that's fine. I'd actually be okay with them casting this just because like it ties their mana up in that way. Also means that we don't take 2, I guess we do if they plus again. Yeah, it looks like they're casting that Chandra. Fry, well that kills our Gideon. But then we can retaliate by just like playing a Stasis Snare. Oh, it doesn't do it. That's like the perfect thing for them to draw. Not having the best of luck really. And we go on Nykthos, which doesn't do anything. I think I'm fine just like playing these out just to make our Heliod a creature. Obviously this runs into the problem of them having like a sack effect. I think we have to do it to get the pressure off of us. It's not ideal, it really isn't, but they've been quite lucky with their effects. It's a bit unfortunate, a bit frustrating. But like the Fry's the main one. I think it's fair for them to have that in the deck. Are we trying to burn us out now? Yeah, that makes sense. I don't think they have a 10 damage worth of burn necessarily, but you never know. Hoping to draw like another Arcanist Owl or something. I can't give lifelink to it, so I can't just have Heliod deal like gain us 5 every turn, but Daxos is good, very good draw for us. Mainly the fact that it's massive and a good place to put all of our lifelink triggers. Also, if we find more creatures, I think we're in a good spot now. Assuming the hand isn't just like free removal spells, but it might be. At least like fatal pushes and the like. The deck's full, like it's just like mono removal, and like Chandra. So I'm not sure. I expect this to be a what could this be? Maybe if it dies, we at least get a trigger, and we can put it on the Heliod. Colligan's Command, that's fine. We'll just discard Baffling End. They're going to use like 3 pieces of removal, 2. That's good for us. I'm happy with that. Oh, it's another right creature for Daxos. That makes sense. But I'm happy with them using 2 pieces of removal. I think they could have kept drawing into maybe a okay, we're just gonna bring in knights instead of Anafenses at this point. I don't think the combo. I think the combo is fine. Like, but they have like they have mono removal, so it's really hard for us to get our ballista to like 2 power and then kill it out to be a 3 power creature. Opponent probably like we see them bringing Fry, so I imagine they probably bring in a lot more ways of removing our things. Obviously, red and black isn't great at removing enchantments, so it's ideal to kind of keep our Heliod to be. It might have been better actually to trim on a big Gideon. This sounds good. We just want to find lands really. We're on the draw though, so we're happy with this. We can like go removal into Gideon. Gideon's a very good way of us kind of staving off their early aggression or any sort of aggression they have. If they're just passing, this Raven Inspector is going to eat a Wild Slash, but it's got us a card, so we're up by 0.5 of a card, I think, if we. Yes, this is going to Wild Slash. I'm absolutely fine with that. Like, the less cards in their hand, the better, really, for us. We can Baffling End if they play something. We can either just leave back and crack Clue if they don't. Both options are fine. Yeah, so nothing. Pass the turn. I get stomped this turn. If we do, that's fine. Next turn we can like play Gideon and then like stop whatever they're doing. You can also see like a young Pyromancer at this point. Doesn't seem like we're seeing anything. Considering that, I think it's better just to play the Heliod. Yeah, I don't think Heliod is bad. Neither is Gideon. Both are fine. I think it actually might be better to play the Gideon. Means that they can they have to tie their mana into removing it with like a Dreadbore. It's gonna emblem. A lightning strike. Maybe it was better to, yeah, it was better to tick up because of lightning strike. I forgot about that card. So that was a mistake. That was definitely a misplay. Something I should have taken into account. That was yeah, not a great idea. Something to do in the future. Yeah, at this point we're kind of just drawing lands. But we're okay with that because we have the Sky Sovereign to like cover it, and we have this Raven Inspector afterwards to like draw cards. If they're just spending their like turns removing our stuff, I'm pretty happy with that. Like just spending spells to kill off Raven Inspector is like honestly fine. Obviously they have this castle going now, but they only have so much health. This is definitely a case where I might prefer having an Ellsworth Conquers Death, especially if we see something like a Challenger here, whereas like Sky Sovereign doesn't necessarily kill that. They just have a lot of removal. Castle's good. I like seeing Castle here. I like just holding back. I can crack Clue if I need to. I think I'm just fine just making 1/1s. Give them lifelink. Make them bigger. It's generally good. Okay, here's a Swift Spear. Just gonna lay it here. Don't mind, really. We can baffling end it if we want. I think I'm okay just like maybe Sky Sovereigning it. Sky Sovereigning it. Can't say that properly, but yeah, an Arcanist Owl is a good draw too. I'm gonna start by attacking and threatening a pump. Okay, so they didn't bite. That's fine. I think I just baffling in this. Maybe crack a Clue. I don't want to play the Owl yet, but we know that it's holding removal. Daxos is a nice draw. This might warrant make them use their removal, especially as a 2/4. So happy to see that. Could just be a push. That's okay. Or a Doomblade, maybe? Fry. That's fine. Happy to see them. The less Fries in a deck, the better for our Planeswalkers. Okay, that's good. to see. That means that they're kind of running low on impactful cards, maybe looking for something to do with their mana. Found a walking blister, which is very good. I think I like running that out later when I feel like the coast is clear. Grab this stasis snare. Yeah, probably just gonna lightning strike our owl, which is fine. We were happy to see like that getting rid of the braid. That's fine too. We're happy to see that go just because of obviously our Sky Sovereign. It means our Sky Sovereign will be more likely to live now. They could still have Colligan's Command, obviously. Yeah. Young Pyromancer, that's fine. That might entice them to cast a couple spells. I'll Stasis Snare on the end step, see if that warrants any spell casting from them. Yeah, there's a Wild Slash. We could definitely go for it here. We can also just like stay back. There's no reason to really do anything. I like waiting until I have 3 mana or more mana. I'm not sure. It might just be correct to go for it. Might be better to wait on till upkeep to do it. Maybe not because of the castle. Might be better to wait until I can put a counter on it. Or until I can do it multiple times. So I'll wait for them to use removal. We're in a good spot, so there's no reason for us to go for anything really. Okay, so there's the removal spell. We'll try and activate it now. Yeah, okay, cool. So we wait for them to pull the trigger, which is what we wanted to do. And then we got the win, so that's good. Happy for that. Hopefully we get one more win before round 5, so that I don't feel like I'm sweating losing all of my play points, because if I don't go 3-2 I won't have any left. And I'm which isn't great. I'd like to have I'd like to 4-1, so I feel like I have something to go back on. I kind of want to get in some games with I want to try Legacy Humans. That seems like the best kind of like Death and Taxes-esque deck at the moment for me. Definitely something to consider. Alright, so this hand is a bit clunky. Am I on the play? I'm not, but that is definitely fine. And considering we have the knight, I would be enticed the Binner Plains, or at the very least maybe the Baffling Inn. We're on 26 lands, which is a lot. So I think I'm okay actually putting the land back because we're on the draw. I think I'd put back the Baffling End on the play because we want to be more proactive. Mana or elves? Okay, looks like we're playing in some sort of acceleratory strategy. Hopefully it's against like red-green rather than the ramp deck. I don't think our deck's very good against exactly this. Ugin's a problem for our deck for sure. I quite like Baffling End here. Anyway, I can like prevent them from ramping the bear. Sure. Don't think this is a particularly good matchup for us, unless we get like a quick combo. Ugin's the main problem. I don't think we can really beat an Ugin. Well, at least next time we have a nice 5 mana, assuming we draw land. If not 4 mana, we can play our two 2/2 A Cavalier here, and Uro's okay. We can like stasis snare Uro. The problem is like once I get an Ugin and A minus, we're kind of in a really bad spot. So we do land. We can either like play Gideon here, I think might be a good one. Get the pressure. I think it's probably the best thing we can do. Sure. See Euro come back this turn, that's okay, since we can stasis snare it. And we can get in with our creatures. Yeah, I'm just really scared of Ugin at this point. Which I could also do this turn. Yeah, it's gonna play Uro. One of the problems obviously with this deck is they can just draw a million lands. No payoffs, which seems to be what's happening now. We drew a Heliod, which opens up the potential for us to combo as well. We get the Grange here because it lets us acquire more power. I think we play Heliod as it can gives us a bad clock and also gives us the potential for lethal next turn, I think. Yeah, next turn they play Uro or Ugin or like something. hopefully they just play a Uro this turn. They could also just Ulamog us, but it seems like they're just Uroing, which is fine. I'm okay with that. Obviously we just stasis snare it. Pilgrimage, they're just finding a bunch of lands. So they can pretty much cast anything now in their deck. There's a forest in their hand. Anafenza helps with the combos. We will cast that. So which one's more damage between Gideon and I think Gideon's more damage. And if you block the biggest, it's 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Whereas if I make it a 5, then it's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So it's one more. I'll play the Anafenza as it lets me combo. So I just want to fade an Ugin at this point. We die to Ugin, pretty much, but everything else is lethal. Okay, an arrow is fine. They 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They have 10 mana still, so they can like Ulamog us, but we win. Okay, that's fantastic. Winning there feels great. It's interesting now because I don't think Sky Sovereign's very good. Damping Sphere is not great either for us. Deicide might be... No, Deicide's not great, but Rest in Peace might be good because of Uro and Cavalier. But it just feels so bad. I think we want the like aggressive Planeswalkers. Maybe get rid of like the Gideon of the Trials. I prefer Gideon Blackblade in that scenario. It might be better to like trim on the Thraben Inspectors. Baffling End's not great either. Maybe keep the Thraben then, just as like creatures that attack. Same with Tomic. Bring in the... Yeah, I think I just meant to... I like keeping a couple of stasis snares for like Uro and Cavalier forms. Maybe it's better to have a third one of them and like one less Gideon just to open up the board. We have the combo still. We're hoping to get a fast combo, realistically. His hand lets us do that. Even on the play, even on the play, Knight's good because they're deck ramps. So I'm happy to keep that in. This hand can definitely combo quickly if we draw what we need. Same Alta 5. Oh, we drew the blisters, so we pretty much have everything we need but the lands. So we just need the lands at this point. What did they do? They mulled to... Yeah, they mulled 6. Okay. Yeah, just pass it. Next time we'll play one of our Heliods. Turn after that. Probably like Cracker Clue and Tomic or something, trying to find our other land. What's this, a Fartnots here? Okay, that's not great. I mean, it's fine. We have the Stasis Snares for it, and we have the Heliod still, so we have 2 of them. So they're going to take our Blister. Oh, they're taking stasis now. Okay. They must have another one. Or they're just going into the, like, aggressive. Might have been better to play the Ballista deck, because they don't have a lot of removal. And then we can play the Heliod, and then the next turn we win. Because we can play a Ballista for 2. Next time I can play a Ballista for 2 anyway. I think is what we're going to do. Sets up lethal next turn. Pass the turn. Surprised they didn't attack. They have access to 6 mana. There's 7 mana. World Breaker? Sure, that makes sense. Couldn't really do anything about that either way, since it would then be targeting our Heliod. So I think it's better if it targets our Ballista, because we can at least draw another one. Gideon's good. Let's just play Gideon and Tomic. Or just like crack a clue. Thinking about what to plus this Gideon on. I think for this turn it's just plussing it, not doing anything with it. And then like I think I'm just cracking this clue. I want to find a land and a Ballista. Land's good. Now we just need to find a Ballista. We can have Gideon exile something eventually as well, which is good. They have another World Breaker? Sure. I mean, can't do much about it, but it happens. And they're going both at Gideon. I think I'm okay jumping the biggest, it taking 4. There's a Stasis Snare. Stasis Snare's good. I think I like playing it and Heliod. I also like doing it on the Fortnite here to draw a card, because it draws into see how they attack first actually, but doesn't matter what we give it, we'll just pass here. It's awkward because we kind of don't want to have them bring this back by sacking a land, because then they can cast it again. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to Stasis Snare the Fortnite Seer, see what I draw, and then see how I block from that. Okay, we drew the Ballista, so we just We can jump like this if we want. Or we can just let it go. Both are fine. They have nothing in their hand. We have the ballista, so we should just win. Yeah, cool. Alright, so we're 3-2, or at least, which is ideal. Hopefully going for the 4-1 now, which will get me some lucrative prizes, which I will open immediately. Hopefully get into a 5th game quickly. So we rolled a 1. So it's a bit awkward in the sense that our hand is a bit mana heavy with like a knight, but we have a Fraven Inspector to draw us out of it. We also have the knight to like get our Grange going, so it's like kind of a hand. I think I recognize this name because it sounds like a very prominent. Okay, I think our deck is generally good against this deck as well. So hoping they at least have free lands here, so we can there's 2. Hoping to draw like an Anafenza or something at this point. Baffling End is also great. I will cast that. Thinking about which one is better against our deck. Probably the Pelt Collector. So now we're hoping they play something like a Rabble Master. I mean, obviously not ideal, but it's better they have that than nothing. If they just pass with nothing, that's good as well. On our upkeep. Yeah, I lost my train of thought about their name. It sounds like they're a Death and Taxes player as well. I think I said that anyway, but yeah. They sound familiar. Yeah, just gonna get planes here, and then we can play the Grange, and the Grange can make our Fraven Inspector decent size. We can play another 2/2. Or we just get in here with our 2/3. Hoping to draw like Heliod's good, obviously. It becomes a like big Arcanist Owl draws us stuff that we can do. Gruul Spellbreaker. That's fine. We have our like 2 first strikers to block that. Taxos is good as well, good blocker. As a 2/8, it's not going to die very quickly. The deck could definitely be an Embercleave deck, something to be wary of. If they attack here, I could definitely sniff out an Embercleave. They're not attacking now. Just passing, maybe waiting Heliod would be really good here, as would Arcanist Owl. Sky Sovereign would actually be quite solid as well. Any of our top end would be great. Nykthos is fine, assuming we draw like a Ballista or something, but not great with nothing to do in our hand. This is probably a slash on a creature. That's fine. Probably just gonna will down our creatures. That makes sense. So we know they have a forest in their hand, so they probably only have one thing. Probably should have just played that tapped. Okay, Gideon's good. Gideon lets us make their Gruul Spellbreaker small. Or not damagey is what I mean. That doesn't even make sense either. But it just means that we can sit back on this until we draw anything relevant, like a Heliod or something. And they're just going to be playing a load of 1/1s, which don't do a lot. We also get a lot better sideboard. We have bring in the 4 Stasis Snare, 4 Baffling Ends. Just waiting to draw something good here. Stasis Snare opens us up to start attacking with our Gideon, which I think is something that we want to do. I think just the Gideon though. Okay, yeah. Cool. That was a good start to this match. I think we definitely want these 4 cards at the very least. We're on the draw now, so Knight's okay. But I think generally the like shockable creatures aren't very good. Tomic is good though as a X-free. Might be good to trim on the Gideon of the Trials and maybe bring in more allies in the cards. They provide blockers as well. The first strike good with the Knights, so I like keeping them. Sky Sovereign could be a bit expensive maybe. I'm expecting like Embercleave and stuff, so it might be a bit too slow. If I would trim an Owl as well, or a Heliod. Heliod might be a bit slow on the draw. Swap that for then get out those Knights on the draw. Oh, sorry, on the play. Oh, yeah, we'll get rid of the Knights of the White Orchid and probably bring in like some of our more top end stuff. Just want to be a bit more okay, since we drew the planes, we're a lot better off. I was considering playing the tap land on 1. No, because we drew the planes, we can still do what we wanted to do. We can either Baffling End the creature next turn, or just like set up our Daxos and then play Baffling End. Because they played that tapped, I'm more happy to play out the Daxos. Their hand seems to be quite clunky with lands. We have Ballistas now, so we just need to draw a Heliod if we want. Excuse me. I think I'm okay attacking here. Getting R1. Not under a lot of pressure, so I'm okay getting damage in while I can. Idyllic Range would be good to put on the Daxos once it becomes, so it can become like a big threat for them. It's hard to deal with the Devotion. Could be a Burning Tree, that makes sense. Bump up the Pelt Collector. We have Baffling End and then Stasis Snare for whatever they have. Gruul Spellbreaker is fine. We're going to give it haste, that's okay. Given the scenario, I'm happy to take the 6 and then I'm going to Baffling End the... Ooh, that's a really good turn for us. So we get to play Knight now. Gain a life, draw, get another planes, Idyllic Range on the Daxos. Off of the planes. And then we get to Baffling End the Felt Collector. It's a really good turn. Then we're just going to pass. We have no reason to be aggressive. We're going to run out of cards. We have Stasis Snare for the other Spellbreaker. Probably just do that like Sorcery Speed. Oh, they have a Roast, sure. Gain life off that. Could have another one. They don't, so we're okay. We draw a land here. Probably just like crack Glue. I think now, considering we're gonna crack Glue now, and then like Baffling Enters, another Dealer Grange is actually great. It might be better to actually make the Fraven Inspector a 2/3, but I'm not sure. I think it's just better so we can get past this Burning Tree. Okay, they've just conceded. Cool. So it's my first 4-1 in a while. I know that's sad, but I tend not to 4-1 a lot or do anything other than 3-2. It seems today it's not been great for me, but I'm quite happy with that. I'm going to open my chests so you get to see what I get. Quite happy with that list. More play points is good. Can't complain about play points. Assassin's Trophy is probably worth a decent amount as well. I'll check the ticks on that. Ooh, an Ulamog as well. Just rattling off the probably semi-expensive cards. Then we get not quite as expensive, but yeah, cool. Alright, really happy with that. I got a lot of play points. Pretty much put myself in a position I wanted after playing this league. I know usually when people stream they have all the play points, doesn't matter, just throw money at you, can use ticks. At the moment I'm not really doing great with cash. It's like student loans and stuff that actually comes to me at the timing of this recording. It's a week from now, so I'll be fine then, but at the moment not great, but don't want to hear about that, so it's fine. But yeah, impressions of the deck. What do we lose to? We lost to Blue-White Control. I think that matchup is a bit unfortunate. I think we could definitely be a lot better border for it. I think Elsbeth Conquers Death's a lot better than Sky Sovereign in that. We also didn't really draw Arcanist Isles or like a lot of our Planeswalkers, which would have helped us to be a lot better scenario. Obviously, like also Fraven Inspector. You saw like game 1, I just killed them with 3 Fraven Inspectors and they didn't do anything else. Yeah. Anyway, thank you for watching. If you like what you saw, be sure to subscribe, or if you're watching, if you're on Twitch, follow as well. If you're watching this on YouTube and you're already subscribed, make sure you drop the notification, the little bell button, so you know when I upload. I upload as soon as I finish every league, which is like every Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. So you expect to see videos then. If you want to see it live, I'm on twitch.tv/BobNanos, so just BOBNANOS, where you'll be able to catch me every 1 PM, like British summertime. So for most people in America, I'm not sure, like that's like what, 6-7 hours ahead, maybe? I'm not sure. But anyway, yeah, thank you all for watching, and I will see you tomorrow. I will be playing Legacy Humans, I think, actually, which will be fun. Yeah, thanks. See you later.